An interesting question came around in our discussion forum the other day, which is about a student raised the concern that they felt that they know what body language, facial expressions, and gestures are, but when it comes to actually using them in a real world scenario, they find themselves getting flustered and confused. They feel they're just not able to focus entirely. They feel like they can only speak on the verbal component part. When they try to incorporate gestures, it just doesn't come out right, or they start to forget what they're saying. And I, at that point of time, felt a little reminiscent of the first time I was given the advice of incorporating body language, and I realized it can be very, very difficult in the beginning, because you may feel like you're already speaking, and that is a difficult thing. You're speaking in front of the people, and then now you also have to incorporate body language and gestures. That can make it more complex. Well, nonetheless, incorporating body language and non-verbal communications makes your speaking so much better that you can just simply just not avoid it. And the gateway to how to improve and incorporate more body language and gestures, well, the first thing I would have to say is that is practice, practice, practice. Why practice? Because spoken English is a performing arts. You are performing in front of people, in front of public, and you need to get used to be able to comfortably speak in front of the people. And to get there, you need to practice these small elements. A very easy way to get started would be to start talking about topics that you're very, very familiar with. You could start at home, or you could start in an office tea sessions, but maybe talk something about cricket or wrestling or any other such thing that you're passionate about, and you would notice that non-verbal and body languages suddenly starts to come around. I mean, you cannot talk about India-Pakistan World Cup without getting energized and excited. You would use your expressions telling that this was Sachin or Virat Kohli, and this is where the bowler was coming around, and this is how the cricketer actually, the batsman actually made the shot. So you can realize that just by that, without even trying to make an effort, you were able to incorporate body language and non-verbal as part of your verbal communication skills. And this is what you really need to be able to do it more and more often, even in the office, in the workplace settings as well. In workplace, you might be giving a presentation, which is a very common scenario. In case you do not have a laser pointer, you might be actually using your own hands to point at different components of the slides, telling where to go. Or maybe you're not using slides at all. In that sense, you would want to use your body language like hands to actually refer to a person or the another person. Again, this makes them more engaged as a part of the conversation. They know that you're talking to them or talking about them, and that makes it easier. Second is self-practice, record and listen. But this, when you practice and record, do use a video recorder instead of the general audio recording advice I gave. Video can even be more daunting, but it's so much better. You would want to be able to see how you look while you're talking, because that will help you become more and more aware about your body. The more you can see how the other world sees you, how the other people sees you, the easier it will become for you to incorporate those non-verbal elements. Next, I would advise is you should take deep breaths every time you're going to speak. Because yes, you will be nervous, you will be self-conscious, but when you take breathing, you do a little quick meditation to yourself, and that allows your brain to be more aware of how to utilize it in a social setting. So you would be able to speak. At the same time, you would be able to point to gestures or bring out the emotions. Remember, facial expressions and body language do not need to be rehearse like a robot. What you need to do is just let the emotions out. When you have the right emotions out, you will notice that the body language just comes by themselves. Finally, slow down. Slow down. It allows your brain to multitask, because that is what you're doing. You're speaking, you are listening for the feedback from the people, even if they're not speaking, just in the way of their eyes and how they're responding to you. And you're also going to be using non-verbal. All of this can be a lot of things to process. So slow down, speak slowly, speak clearly. That will allow you room to process and see, what I'm talking, and maybe I could use my hand to make my conversation better. Or I am talking to this gentleman or lady, and let me use my hand to point that out. And all of these things, these subtle elements, will be able to make your conversation and spoken English so much better. So I hope you found this video helpful about how you can go about improving or introducing non-verbal components in your speaking as well. Please like the video and share with your friends and family as well. And I hope to see you in the next video.